At this time, we call the meeting to order for the Board of Mayor and Selectmen for August the 28th, 2018. And Selectman Johnson will give the prayer. Before you give the prayer, we want to remember Mr. Hank Moore, who lost his wife, Officer Anthony Daniels, who lost his sister, and Susie Dowdy. That's the reason Wayne Dowdy is not here. She had surgery on yesterday. He is in New Orleans with her. So let's remember these as we pray.
Let us bow our heads, please. Father, we bless you today, Father. We thank you for the city of McComb and our employees, Father. Father, I pray that you would give this board divine wisdom and guidance as we carry out the business affairs of the city. Father, you have been very good to McComb, so we say much obliged to you, sir. Father, now I pray for the bereaved families and the sick and shut in all throughout the city of McComb and abroad. Father, I pray that you would touch them in a mighty way. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. We start with the consent docket. You've had a chance to review the minutes as well as look at the different claim dockets. What can I hear on the consent docket? It was motioned by Selectman Hill, second by Selectman Johnson. Any discussion? Any discussion? All ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Hearing none. You will see it says receiving comments from Mayor Locklear regarding conduct unbecoming of an elected official. To the Board of Selectmen, we come together the second and fourth Tuesday to govern. Therefore, I am requesting that you keep your remarks to the item or items being discussed. I will not tolerate you throwing personal insults at one another. If it continues, I will call you out and let you know this is not the place or the time. The McComb City Board meeting will be done decent and in order. Thank you. Is Beth Hemmer here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come forward.
My name is Beth Hemmer. I own Buddy's Bar and Grill on Delaware Avenue, and my wish is to contact the state to be able to have resort status for Buddy's Bar and Grill, and my first step is to come before the board and ask for your approval.
We've heard comments from Ms. Beth Hemmer. What? Can I hear any discussion?
Good.
Good.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
With the resort status, Ms. Bell, what are you expecting?
Not to use it very often. We open on Sundays for the Saints games, and for that I'd like people to be able to have wine if they'd like to, and then not after 12 on maybe 2 occasions a year, just like our New Year's Eve party and our Halloween party, just so we have time to get people out of there. It's not to stay open later, it's just to make sure I have time to get them out of there, maybe till 12:30 or 1.
Okay. Is there any way that we could get you to put everything that you want on paper?
Certainly.
And turn it into our city administrator?
Certainly.
So, okay. All right.
Any other comments or questions of Ms. Hemmer?
Well, you have some tremendous crawfish and other food items.
Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
those.
Okay, we have the understanding that you will put the things that you want in writing.
Yes, sir.
And get it to the CA?
I surely will.
Okay. Amber?
When we say what she wants, and she's asking for our blessing of resort status, that's kind of a yes or no. And then it goes to the state. I would think it's either a yes or no. We can either put it on next week's work session to
suggest that she get what Mr. Hill has requested, and we put it on the work session for discussion, and then just move from there.
Will I need to come to that work session?
No, ma'am, if you get that in writing to the CA, it'll just be on, if you want to be there, you can be here. You know, I'm not going to stop you from being here, but if you put it in writing, you don't have to be here. We'll just discuss
Okay.
it at the work session,
All right.
okay? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Hill?
Yes, at one time, a citizen that owns a club similar, or a bar, or a facility similar, they asked for resort status, and, we kind of nailed out exactly what they was asking for. So, I think we should treat this situation the same, and, see what we come up with at this time.
Mr. Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen or filled out a resort status application?
I have the application, and this was my first step in that process.
Okay. And you saw the list of items that they also require?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? If not, Ms. Beth Hemmerter, we thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's keep moving. Number 5, consider receiving comments from City Administrator Kevin Butler regarding the proposed budget FY 18-19. Okay. It has to be advanced. It should be second. Okay. Let's go to number 6. Consider receiving the school board of the City of McComb School District request and budget to levy the appropriate millage rate to generate tax revenues in the following amount during the school district 2018-2019 fiscal year that starts July 1st, 2018 through June the 30th, 2019. The budget is available for review in the city clerk's office if you, as board members or if the citizens would like to review that entire budget. It is in the city clerk's office for your review. You will notice that for dollar amount required for the district maintenance fund levy, $3,750,573. For the dollar amount necessary for payment of debt service, $338,848, and a shortfall note of $364,903. Can I get a motion to receive the McComb School
Discussion.
discussion?
I would just like to know why.
Other than, we got a motion and a second, we're going to discuss it.
Can I get a motion
So moved.
for
Second.
motion by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Tully. Now it's discussion.
Just curious why the citizens of Macomb have to pay $300,000 in taxes every year when they've got a $9 million in fund balance. Just a question.
Mainly because they operate on a different fiscal year than we do. So their in-fund balance may end up there, but it's just like our in-fund balance. They operate out of that during that time. They get their money from us, and that's why they have a shortfall because of that.
That annual budget is 31 million?
That's correct.
Okay.
Ready to vote? Any folks more discussion?
No.
Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Number 7, we're going to appointments. Consider approving the recommendation from the mayor appointing Kevin Butler, city administrator for the city of Macomb, for a period of 4 years.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Mayor, all these appointments, not only this one, but we're going to include a start and end date as been done in previous boards.
As appointments, there are terms last as long as this board is in session. So this board ends June the 30th, 2022.
Okay.
That's when our terms will be.
We all clear on that.
Yes.
The last board, stated that in the minutes, and as you know, this time around, we had a whole lot of discussion about us taking jobs away, and in fact, we ended on the 30th, so you sure you want me to spell that out, the 30th?
Well, according to our charter, they are appointed for that term.
Okay. Okay.
Now, we can spell it out if we want to, but the charter is for the term.
Good.
Any other questions? No other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, let's continue. Consider approving recommendation for city administrator appointing. Give me a name.
Angela Cochran.
Angela Carkerham, city attorney for the city of McComb for 4-year term. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Hill, that Angela Carkerham will be appointed city attorney for the city of Macomb for the next 4 years. Any discussion?
Curious, is Wayne Dowdy interested?
Talk to Wayne. Wayne has given his blessing.
Was she originally in the applicant?
She had been talked to by myself, and yes, she was in.
And yes, she was what?
Yes, she was included.
When you said Wayne has his, we have Wayne's blessing, did he say he wanted to remove his name from the run?
Today, when I talked to Wayne, Wayne informed me by telephone that Angela was well qualified. She would be a good city attorney for the city, and he gave her his blessing to be the city attorney.
Again, did he remove his name
Yeah.
from the, okay.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, let us continue. Consider appointing the recommendation from the city administrator appointing Vivian Fortenberry, city clerk for the city of Macomb for a 4-year term. Motion by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion? Mr. Johnson, motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, we'll consider approving the recommendation, and we understand these recommendations come from the city administrator. Consider approving the recommendation for the city administrator appointing Scott McKenzie, chief of police for the city of Macomb for the next 4 years. Motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? It was motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Tullis. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Nay.
Vote 4 to 2. Do I need to call out? Okay. Going to his next recommendation.
Matt, you.
Okay. Selectman Hill, Selectman Brock, Selectman Williams, Selectman Johnson said nay. Selectman Cameron and Selectman Thomas said yea. Going to his second yes.
the chief has served, the city very well. We'll go ahead, I'll.
Second recommendation, for police chief is Garland Ward. Can I get a motion and second? Williams, second. Going once, going twice, died for lack of a second. The third one, recommendation is Derry Smith. Can I get a motion and second? I hope I pronounced that correct. Derry, G-E-L-R-E Smith. Can I get a motion and second? Going once, going twice, third time, no motion. And the fourth one is Damian Gatlin. Can I get a motion and second?
Second.
Selectman Johnson, Selectman Hill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers?
Nay.
Same 4-2. Okay, let's keep moving.
Can I? This has to do with discussion there. Chief McComb has served the city very well over the past, many years. His retirement, he is eligible for retirement in a couple of months. I would love to, and I can put it in a motion, but I would love to make the suggestion that we give him the honor and respect of finishing out his term and his retirement, which would only be September, October, November, 90 more days, and he would turn in his resignation, or he would turn in his retirement as of December 1st. I think Chief McKenzie, like I said, has done a great job. I don't think that's too much to ask of the chief who served the city of McComb, and not necessarily as chief, but has served the city of McComb for many years.
If you want to consider that, make a motion to amend the agenda and consider that.
Okay. I will make a motion to amend the agenda.
Second.
It was motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Thomas, that we will amend the agenda to consider one item, and that is to extend the timeline for Chief McKenzie's departure to be November 30th.
November 30th, and have a start date of the new chief December 1st.
Any discussion?
That's his motion,
That's motion and second.
so we're in discussion for the
Yeah.
motion. We just voted on hiring the chief, correct? So, for Chief McKenzie to stay on, can you give us a little bit more detail of what capacity you would like to see, what pay?
My motion is to leave him as chief and have the new chief start December 1st. That's the motion.
Okay, that's kind of unacceptable, because we just hired the chief, and I don't know if that's gonna be acceptable to the chief at this point in time. Maybe we need to have some in-depth discussion about this. Just about, Mr. Gatlin, when you interviewed him, was he ready to come on board?
Everybody was ready to come here, sir.
Yeah, they need a 2-week notice, give 2-week notice.
So now we'll be moving from the 2-week notice to, say, end of November.
My motion is for the new chief to take office.
I'm just trying to get a little more
December
detail
1st.
so we can make an opinion, informed decision.
The new chief would take office on
Okay.
December 1st. Chief McKenzie would remain through November 30th.
The way I
get his retirement so he could go out respectfully and with his retirement.
The way I'm understanding it is that, yes, Mr. Gatlin is being hired. Only thing that Mr. Cameron is saying, let's extend the start-up date to December 1. It doesn't change Mr. Gatlin being the police chief. It just pushes the start-up date back to December 1st. That's what I hear. Am I correct?
That's exactly right.
So we
So
got,
just a moment. So that's John.
Did we just hire a chief for a 4-year term?
We did.
Okay.
But we have not, as he said, the CA said he still needs to give a 2 weeks notice, so that's not like he's gonna start tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Now, back to you, Mr. Brown.
okay. We've already got Chief McKenzie serving as interim already.
Already, that's correct.
Okay, and we just hired a chief. We just hired a new chief. This board has just voted in the new chief, what if we want him to start immediately?
New chief is saying that he needs to give a 2 weeks notice.
What, 3 weeks? That still wouldn't serve
No.
Selectmen's purpose.
No, it would not.
So I'm trying to see what our options are, and do we have another option besides chief?
I mean, my motion is for him to remain chief until November 30th, and the new chief take office on December 1st.
Mr. Hill.
Call for a vote.
Vote, it's been called for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, is nay.
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 Same, 4-2. Number 11, consider approving the recommendation from the city administrator appointing Danny Smith, municipal court judge for the city of McComb for 40 years term. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Selectman Tullis, Selectman Cameron, seconded. Discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Nay.
4-2, same 4-2. His second recommendation is Michael Sharif. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
That was Brock, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me for not referring to you as Selectman Brock. It was motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Nay.
4-2. You got that? Okay. Okay, consider approving the recommendation for city administrator appointing Brandon Frazier for the city of McComb for municipal court judge for the city of McComb for 4-year term. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
That was Selectman Brock, second, and Selectman Tullis can make the motion.
Correct.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, unanimous.
Everybody aye?
Yeah, all. Okay. Public defender, consider approving recommendation for city administrator appointing Paul Luckett, municipal public defender for the city of Macomb for a period of 4 years. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
That was Selectman Cameron and Selectman Johnson. Been moved and second, any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Going to municipal prosecutor. Consider approving the recommendation from the city administrator appointing David Brewer municipal prosecutor for the city of McComb for a 4-year term. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Voted 2. 2 nays, 4 nays, 2 yeas. Okay, second recommendation has been given. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second, once, twice, third time, Dab. So we have no person to fill the municipal prosecutor's position. Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion to add one additional item to the agenda.
Motion to add one additional item to the agenda. Going once,
Second.
second. It was seconded by Selectman Brock. Selectman Johnson, what's the item?
I would like to consider appointing Don Stowe as municipal prosecutor for a 4-year term.
The motion from Selectman Johnson and Selectman Brock is to add one item, and that is Don Stowe,
Yes, sir.
S-T-O,
S-T-O-U-G-H.
as a recommendation for municipal prosecutor. Any discussion? Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let me see, hands. 3. Johnson, Hill, Brock, and those who oppose, and Cameron, Tullis, and Williams. I will go with Stowe. Will be 4-3. Okay, continue, consider appointing recommendation for city clerk appointing, I don't have, did you give me a list? Nicole Garner and LaToya Bates and Rosetta Scott as deputy city clerks for the city of McComb for 4-year term. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Who moved?
Hill.
Okay, thank you.
Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, Nicole Garner, LaToya Bates, and Rosetta Scott. They are employees here already in City Hall. Any motion and second, any discussion?
Motion, Doc.
Hill,
I'll motion.
Selectman Hill, Selectman Johnson, second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed with nay. I have it. Consider receiving a check in an amount of $891 from the state of Mississippi. Check number 100552154 for communication officer IAED 40-hour basic certification to be deposited into fund number 001-000-396 and increase the line item number 001-110-635 and further authorizing a budget amendment for said amount. These reimbursement funds will be used for future training of police support personnel. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
Selectman Cameron, Selectman Brock. Any discussion? Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Number 17, consider receiving a check in the amount of $980 from St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center as part of the relocation efforts with the latest wing of rescue animal transport. These funds are to be to be deposited into fund number 001-000-346, and increase line item number 001-105-690, and further authorize a budget amendment for said amount. These funds must be used for animal intake, vaccination, and spay and neuter surgeries only. Can I get a motion and a second? So moved from who? Brock.
Second.
Selectman Brock, Selectman Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. Consider executing and adopting an agreement with the State of Mississippi Emergency Management Agency statewide mutual aid compact SMAC program, allowing the city of McComb the use of all state available resources during emergencies. Can I get a motion and a second? Selectman Johnson,
Second.
Selectman Brown. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposers nay. Number 19, there came for consideration approving payment request number 4, final payment from Southern Electric Corp. of Mississippi, Post Office Box 320398, Flowood, Mississippi 39232, in the amount of $61,671 for the Sports Park Ball Field number 3 and 4 lighting project. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis,
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion?
Question.
Go ahead.
These monies are coming from
That
came out of general.
It's coming out of general fund, but you know, we made that motion to move that money for that,
Yes, sir.
to cover that.
Yes.
I think it was $272,000 out of the general fund to cover the light. Yes, sir, Mr. Hill.
Just for clarification, the previous board had made the motion for the money to come from hotel motel tax, not properly counting the money, knowing that we would not have enough money for that in the hotel motel tax, putting our general fund at stake for paying for some lights. Just wanted to be clear about this so the citizens can understand that that this current board did not make the decision for us to spend that amount of money on lights and for it to come from the hotel motel tax, but the general fund.
As Mr. Hill is referring to the project itself, was asked to be put on hold and let the new board decide that. The prior board made the decision to move forward. Moving forward, we had about $85,000 in the hotel motel fund at that time. That was not enough money to fund that entire project, so out of the general fund, we had to pay the other $272,000. That's what Mr. Hill is referring to. Also, you need to know that hotel motel tax only brings in about $17,000 a month. Therefore, the money still would have had to come out of the general fund to pay for it. Let's continue. Number 20. Finish the vote.
Yes, sir.
All in favor say aye. Opposers nay. Moving to number 20. There came for consideration approving payment number 1 from R.J. Construction Incorporation, Post Office Box 6, Laurel, Mississippi 39441, in the amount of $224,352.88 for Park Lane Road Improvement Project. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Tullis, second.
Second.
Selectman Cameron, any discussion?
Yes.
Selectman Hill first.
Have you guys been out to visit the site where they're doing the work? I've noticed on the Park Lane track, there's fresh pavement on the track. Did that pavement come from the project, or?
That was part of the project because, I don't know if you know, that fence was moved over. And then when we moved the fence over, we had to redo the track on that side. Because the street was wide.
Correct.
That way, yes, sir.
And was the track damaged?
Well, it was was moved, you know, when we moved the streets, the track actually went away.
Track still there.
Well, I mean, they redid, that's another track, my understanding, that I have to look at.
They like the same track.
Not the same track, well,
So I think the neighborhood.
I mean, you do, and I would have to, verify that, but that was my understanding, it moved over, that's why they did that.
Well, I would like to know if that's the same track and it's fresh pavement, the city shouldn't have paid for that. In my opinion, if we had easements, or not, I don't think the city should have paid for that. I would like to know.
Yeah, I'll check it out, but we definitely had easements.
Selectman Hill, I hear what you're saying. Usually things like that are worked out in the easement or the right-of-way. We'll have to check those easements and right-of-way, and if it was stipulated in that, it should have been brought to this board attention that that was a stipulation in that easement or right-of-way. But we'll check into that.
I appreciate it.
Okay? Any other questions? Mr. Brock?
Where are these monies coming from?
You know, the prior board set up funds for this project, and they moved monies around to cover this particular project.
Okay, so how does these monies, how does that play into this complete streets in the budget?
Okay, right, when we did the budget, we didn't have this to deduct from that, okay?
Okay, this is coming from the 839?
Yes.
Okay, is this the only payment from,
Right now,
that's the only payment?
that's payment number one.
This is the bond money?
This is a combination of 2 or 3 monies, but it does include the $512,000 of bond money that was transferred to that project.
Where are we, what's the status on it, as far as the bond money and get it back, placement? Are we gonna continue to use this bond money on this project?
That was done by the prior board. The prior board made that decision to move that money to this project. That was a decision made by the prior board.
Okay, we can move it back.
This board can do anything. There's nothing that the prior board did that's binding on this board. But if we move money back, where are we gonna get the $512,000? We already having problems in our in-fund balance.
I agree 100%. But, not moving the bond money back, they will continue to use, what jeopardy are we in?
I looked at the video where the city attorney advised the board as to what that money could be used for. I hate to say it, but it puts the city of McComb in a very peculiar situation, because we will be one of those cities who have misused bond fund money.
So to continue to use it, are we getting deeper and deeper in trouble? Or do we need to move this money back and borrow the money to finish that project in that area?
If I was on the prior board, I would have never moved bond money for a project that was not specified in the bond.
Okay. So the project is going on. Right now, we got a bill of how much?
$224,352.88.
Two payments. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can we-
Wait. Go ahead, finish.
Can we put this item on the work session?
You can pull this. If you want to make a motion to pull this or to table this, Mr. Brock, you can do that.
I'd like to make a motion to add one item.
Mr. Brock wants to add one item.
Second.
No, just make a motion to table, Mr.
That's
Brock.
fine, I'd like to make a motion to table this item.
Second.
It was motioned by Mr. Brock, second by Mr. Johnson, that this item would be tabled. And you know, by tabling, it means that next board meeting it has to come back up.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna revisit this in the work session.
And we can revisit it in the work session. Okay? It was motioned by Mr. Brock, second by Mr. Johnson, that this item be tabled. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed is nay.
Nay.
4-2. Do I need to identify it for? Okay. Consider receiving estimate number 2 in the amount of $5,970.87 with supporting data from Neil Schaefer for the Railroad Boulevard Improvement Professional Services for the period of July 1, 2018 through July 31st, 2018. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Toller, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion? Is Keith here? Keith, I see you have towed up Railroad Boulevard.
I didn't do it by myself. Had a little help.
You had a little help?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but I see that the project is moving forward, Keith. Hope that once it's over with, the citizens of McComb will be happy or proud of that project.
I believe they will, Mayor.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Are we ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Motion carried. Consider adopting the ordinance amending Chapter 86 of the City of McComb Code of Ordinance, decriminalization of marijuana. Can I get a motion and a second? Johnson, Selectman Johnson.
Can I motion to table this again?
Wait. We got one motion on the floor. Do I get a second?
Second.
Selectman Hill. Now, you want to offer a substitute motion?
Yes.
And your substitute motion is to what?
To table it, that we may discuss and see, get some more stipulation on the consequences behind it. Just to talk it over.
Okay, would you make that in the motion then?
Motion that be tabled.
Okay, we have a substitute motion by Mr. Selectman Williams that this would be tabled. Second? Yes, sir.
Second.
Second, Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? Selectman Cameron?
One reason I would like to see a table is if we're sitting here without an attorney, so, that's one of the reasons I would like to see a table.
Okay. Any other discussion? Selectman Hill?
Yes, again, it's gonna be another 2 more weeks where my phone is available at all times. Only person that has reached out to me that had given some good amendments to the ordinance was Selectman Brock. Keep kicking the can down the road. This is an ordinance I think that'll be beneficial to the city of McComb. We made a decision about ordinances, and Attorney Wayne Dowdy has already weighed in on this ordinance. He's found nothing wrong with it. It's already state law. We're just pretty much taking away the option of giving officers the option to say, I'm going to give you a citation or I'm going to arrest you. But if this board decides to table it, then I'm for it. It's the power of the board. But keep kicking the can down the road, and what precedent are we setting for laws and ordinances that we present to this board? Again, it's going to be going on 2 months.
Okay, Selectman Toller?
I had written to the Attorney General, and I got his opinion yesterday, and I'd like to read from page 5, 2 paragraphs, if I may, concerning this particular ordinance. The draft ordinance you attached has a penalty that can never exceed $100, while state law has higher penalties and never allows for a penalty less than $100. The municipal ordinance which conflicts with the state statute is preempted by state law. It's trumped by state law. paragraph 5, there does appear to be a substantial risk that municipal ordinances enacted in the area of marijuana possession could interfere or conflict with what is comprehensive state criminal regulation of all controlled substances, including marijuana. The legislature has set out a comprehensive penalty and tiered fine system based upon the number of convictions for possession of marijuana, the amount involved, and the intent of the accused. Given the comprehensive state statutory scheme, any municipal ordinance would have to be carefully drawn to ensure that the ordinance does not expand or contract the application of a state statute. He's saying you're reducing the sentence that is against state law.
Mr. Hill?
I yield to Selectman Brown.
Selectman Brown, he yields to you.
Mr. Tullis, do you have a copy of the letter that you sent to the Attorney General?
I gave my copy of the newspaper, they had it.
Mr. Newspaper, do you have a copy with you you can share?
It's not here. Just that newspaper.
Could you forward us a copy?
I can try to do that, yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. And Mrs. Tullis, could you give us a copy of the return?
Sure.
While we're discussing this, and Mr. Hill asked that we stop kicking this down the road, I'm gonna just pass out some amendments that I'd like to see placed in it. And when we come back, Mr. Diver may not be here, but let's either add to it, take it away, or do something with it. I got some things that were either changed or added to and read, so I don't know how this vote's gonna go, but when we come back, let's just kind of look at it, and so we all will have some input into it. Pass it or fail, because citizens are calling me also and want to know what we're gonna do, what's taking so long, and we have no answer. So I would think that we would get with Selectman Hill and try to see how we can critique it and make it better. Can I get rid of it when we come back?
I heard what Selectman Tullis read. The penalty by state law goes from $100 up to whatever that amount is. So the $100 that Selectman Hill is advocating is in line with state law. The only thing that's not in line with state law is the second, third consequences and the amount. But that $100 is in line with state law. Yeah, so, any other comments, questions? Mr. Selectman Hill?
Yeah, I would just like to note that that's just the Attorney General's opinion. And you kind of interpreted it on your own towards the end. City of McComb will not be the first city that adopts this ordinance. So this is, we're not creating anything new here in the city of McComb. We're just trying to pass the ordinance to make the government work for the people instead of government working against the people. Appreciate your comments, Ted Tullis. Well, I would definitely like to know exactly what question and how you formed your question for him to respond.
I just sent the ordinance, but there again.
I wasn't finished talking. You
Read
didn't
through
read
it.
it. Wasn't and you weren't recognized. But I would definitely like to discuss it more at the work session. Would like to vote on tonight, but from the consensus of the board that I've gotten, we'll talk about the work session. I appreciate it if we, at the next board meeting, that we can go ahead and make a move on it, whether you yay it or you nay it. The citizens are waiting.
Okay, Mr. Tullis?
State law trumps a city municipal ordinance. When we're reducing the sentence, that's against state law.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. This has been tabled.
Consider authorizing payment for housing of prisoners during the month of June 2018 for the City of McComb Department of Public Safety, Police Division, to the Pike County Sheriff Department, 2109 Jesse Hall Industrial Park Road, Magnolia, Mississippi, 39652, in the amount of $18,328.70. Can I get a motion and a second? Selectman Brown.
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Hearing and recuse. Okay. Consider approving payment to the Mississippi Department of Health, Post Office Box 1700, Jackson, Mississippi, 39201, 1-1700 for the renewal of the annual water quality analysis fee, WQAL, in the amount of $19,233. Can I get a motion in second?
Second.
Selectman Bronx, Selectman Thomas. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Opposers, nay. This time, consider approving travel for the Board of Mayor and Selectmen to attend the CMO elective court open meetings and public records in Hattiesburg, Mississippi on October the 29th, 2018 at a cost of $25 each. Can I get a second? A motion and a second.
So moved.
Selectman Tullis, who did the second?
Hill.
Selectman Hill. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Hearing none. Moving to number 26, consider approving the Board of Mayor and Selectmen to attend the 2018 Small Town Conference in Vicksburg, Mississippi, October the 24th through the 25th, 2018. Can I get a motion in a second? Okay, that was Selectman Cameron and Selectman Johnson. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Opposers, nay. Received comments from Mayor Lockley regarding his decision not to appoint election inspectors for the City of McComb for the period of July 1, 2018 through June 2022. By code of ordinance, the city attorney has the power to appoint inspectors. We do not have an election commission here for the City of McComb. We have election inspectors. I do not intend to appoint anyone as an elected inspector. Therefore, by default, the Pike County election commissioners will handle all elections during this term. Yes, that's you can discuss it, but that's the decision that I made. Yes, sir.
In the primaries, when the parties run the primaries,
Parties do run primaries.
we don't need, is the county gonna come in and oversee that?
Only if the party desires for them to. This is only for elections that are handled by the city.
Okay. But didn't the election commissioners oversee the parties in the primary?
No, the parties ran their own election.
They weren't here overseeing it?
No. They may have talked to them, but now when it came to the voting part, they did the voting part, but when it came to the party running, they ran their own election. Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Selectman Cameron is right, they were here, but they were interfering with the primary. They were not supposed to be here.
Okay. We have an addendum. One item has been deleted from the addendum, number 2, so we only have one item on the addendum. I ask that I get a motion to amend the agenda to consider the addendum item, consider adopting a per diem policy. Can I get a
motion to amend the agenda to include this addendum item. Who made the motion? Selectman Brown. Who seconded? Selectman Jones. It says, consider adopting a per diem policy for the city of McComb, not requiring receipts on travel reimbursements. Can I get a motion? Wait. Yeah, excuse me, let's finish this. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposers nay. Nay. 4 to 2. Now, that was to amend. Now consider adopting a per diem policy for the city, not requiring receipts on travel reimbursement. And now I need a motion and a second. Johnson. Second. Rob. Discussion. Yes, sir.
Is this prior, is this afterwards, is this, how is this gonna work now?
Understand, I have some reservations about this, as far as adopting this, because there are conferences and workshops that you go to and they provide breakfast, dinner, all that. And if they're providing those meals for you, why would you come back and request $41 for that? I have some reservations about that. That's just the mayor speaking. So, these are some concerns I have about this whole idea of not requiring. But what this board does, I get to vote only when there's a time.
My question was this before you get paid before, you get paid afterwards, but how is this going to work? As opposed to what we do now?
Travel reimbursement, that means after.
Okay.
Advance, this before.
Okay. I would just like to add that this is crazy to spend the taxpayers' money with no accountability. All I've heard for the last little while is transparency and accountability. Maybe I hadn't heard accountability, but this is crazy to ask for something without reimbursements. I can't fathom the fact that we're asking this.
Okay. Any other discussion, Ms. Brock?
I don't know what to add. This is in line with state law.
State law?
State law says that if you want advancements for travel, then when you return, you have to bring your receipts. State law says that if you do not, when you get back, you can request your per diem, correct?
That's correct.
That's what the law allows. Okay. Again, the law allows us for 20 cents per mile of travel, but we can go up to 54% according to state law.
State law, that's correct.
Okay. So why, if we're so concerned, then why not let's take back that 34 cent of travel and give it back to the citizen? And we can make that motion tonight, I'll go with it. But if this is in line with state law, we don't have nothing to be fussing about. But once you get back, you can give it all back. You can request it, or however you want to do it. You don't have to request anything. You can eat breakfast, you don't have to eat breakfast, it's totally up to you. But this is in line with state law.
In line with state law.
It's crazy that we need to change it at another level, not here.
That's correct. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposers nay.
Nay.
3. Let's get to 3. Okay, Brock, Williams, and Johnson said in favor of, aye. Selectmen Collar, Selectmen Cameron, and Selectmen Hill, say nay. And Locklear gonna go with nay. Now, the last thing, City Hall will be closed Monday, September the 3rd, in observance of Labor Day. The next work session will be Tuesday, September the 4th, 2018, at 5:30. The next board meeting will be Tuesday, September the 11th, 2018, at 5:30. Can I get a motion and a second? Wait. Oh, Mr. Damian Gatlin was here. Did he leave?
There he is.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Damian, this board has voted you to be the next police chief for the city of McComb. We would like to welcome you on board. We hear that you need to give a 2 weeks notice.
That would be nice, yes, sir.
Would you, at your convenience, come by City Hall, let us sit down and talk?
Absolutely.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Could we just hear from him where he's coming from, what he's been, a little bit about his history?
Mr. Damian, would you tell not only this board, but also our citizens who are sitting out here a little bit about you, please?
Yes, sir. I am from McComb. I grew up in a little project over in White Acres, single mom. So just the opportunity, I'm very honored and very humbled by this opportunity. I started in law enforcement in 2008 just to get my foot in the door. I started in dispatch. From there, 2009, I started on the road as a road deputy. Several months after that, I was given Deputy of the Month because Sheriff Steve Russian and Chief Deputy Johnny Hall advised that my work ethic and my attention to detail paved the way for that to happen. 2011, I believe it was, I became an investigator with the Sheriff's Office, continued to work and do what I felt like I did best, and they soon promoted me to sergeant approximately a year after that. A year after that, I became Master Sergeant, Investigations at Lane County Sheriff's Department. Through my training and my experience, I feel like that I will be able to do what's best for the city of McComb. At this time, McComb is in a decent place, but I feel like that we could do more in the community, more community police, and just let the community know that we're here and we're here for them. I found out that, when people find out how much you know, they tend to kind of shun you and draw back. When they find out how much you care, they tend to flock to you. So my goal is to continue doing what McComb does well, to see what might need to be adjusted, but mainly to let the community know that we're here and we love them. I'm not going to preach to you, but according to Romans 13 is how we're going to police. We understand that this authority, it doesn't come from the mayor, it doesn't come from the board, and God bless you, but it doesn't. That authority and that power comes from God. And one thing, growing up in White Acres, and now being in police, one thing that I feel, and I told them this in the interview, that makes me right for the job is I hadn't forgotten what it's like not being the police. And I think sometimes after we've worn the badge and that uniform so long, we forget what the citizens go through and what they have to deal with. And so with that, I'm here for the guys because I know this is going to be a hard transition period for them to have a chief. Mackenzie, my hat to you for the job well done. The Bible also says that, count up the cost when you have something you're going to go into, and that's one thing I understand this. I understand that this thing can change. I understand that I may be in the same situation at some point in life. I'm not dwelling on that or considering I'm considering that this is going to be a successful 4 years, and I just appreciate you guys for that. I'm thankful for it. Again, I'm humble, and whatever I can do for the city, I'm here for the city, and whoever I need to meet and talk to get adjusted to, the intricacies of McComb and how we do things, then I'm all ears. I had never stopped learning, and I'm open and available to continue learning. And I feel like when you think you've learned everything, you become a problem. So I just want to say thank you to the board. Thank you, even those that were opposed. I understand, no hard feelings. I understand that, because if I have, you know, a favorite team and they lose, no hard feelings to the other team that lost. And if that analogy makes sense to you, I'm just here to do a job, and I just pray that God be with me, just like He has been with me in the investigation with Lincoln County. I feel like He will be, and we'll do a great job.
So moved.
Okay, Selectman Hill, Selectman Cameron, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
This meeting is over.